And then let's come down to the ground and do that rest assess. So we're going to be using these bands later, and today I know you guys don't have the bands at home, but you'll be able to see them, see the movements kind of with or without the bands as well. Good, go ahead and lay back on your back. Just allowing the back to stretch out onto the ground, and when you first come to the ground, just kind of feel how your body settles first. You may feel crinkled up in some spots, and as you take a focused breath, it may just release a little bit more. Good, and just start on your feet this time. We're going to take that attention straight into our legs and notice how your feet drop into the ground. Notice if your feet feel like one toe is pushed forward or back, or your feet are dropped out evenly east and west. Taking your attention further up your legs, take your attention to the back of your hamstrings. Notice if your hamstrings feel like they touch the ground or if they're lifted off, which is a common indicator that there are some issues going on in the pelvis. So then take a focused breath and notice your hips on the ground. Notice if your hips feel like all the weight's through the center or evenly weighted onto each cheek. And ideally you want that weight balanced, not just all the weight on the bones. Then again, now taking your attention more midline on the body from your pelvis to your rib wall. Does your back feel like it's kind of arched off the ground? Or does it feel pretty level from your rib cage down to your pelvis? And then making a notice of your upper back and shoulders. Palms are toward the sky. Do the arms feel evenly weighted to the ground, or does one arm feel like it's kind of lifted up? Or does it feel uncomfortable to have the arms, palms facing up? And very often for most people, the natural position for a lot of people is turning your palms to the ground. Ideally, the arms should just let your arms rest with your palms up. That opens the chest, opens the back even. And then that last area, that third area, is the upper back and shoulders, or the shoulder girdle. And you want to notice from your shoulders, top of your shoulders down to the base of your sternum, how that back settles into the ground, if the ground feels even underneath those spaces. And then also, if you turn your head to the left and to the right, do you feel like you have cricking, cracking, or popping in the neck, or any tension or pulling in the neck as well? Take a nice even breath, and then slide your feet in so your shins are vertical. And let's come up on the roller, head to hips. So go ahead and just keep that band off to the side for right now. We're going to come onto the roller, head to hips, hike that hip up, and then shoulders come back, and then arms go out wide. Whoop, didn't hit the roller quite right. And the head drops off the back into the roller. Go ahead and drop your weight to your right and drop your weight to your left. You just feel how the body just moves. This gentle rocking is so important for just allowing yourself to find that center of mass, as well as finding the equanimity between the right and left sides. You can feel how your spine just touches every part of the roller. And then go ahead and pause in the center. Place your hands to your belly so your thumbs are at your navel and your fingers touch your pelvis, and begin to tuck the pelvis and then tilt. Let the rib cage stay settled, curl, and then let the pelvis drop, and then curl, and then let the pelvis drop. Exhale, breathing. And then again, curl, and just feel that tailbone slightly tuck under. Exhale, let that pelvis drop. Take your right hand to your chest, leave your left hand on your belly. A nice long deep inhale, and then exhale. Inhale to expand, and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Take your hands to your rib cage and just let your elbows settle to the ground. Inhale again. Feel the width of your rib cage expanding. And then exhaling. Inhale to expand. And exhale. Once more, inhale to expand the rib cage out. Exhale. And then from here, just open the arms, not quite all the way to the ground, and reach the arms away from the midline of the body, and then just bend both wrists back and curl both wrists in. As your arms are extended out nice and wide, just feel that length coming into your forearms, your biceps, maybe into your shoulders, and then alternate the hands, right and left. Curl the wrist towards your forearm, and then extend the fingers back. And then now reach as far away from your sternum as you can, fingertips pointing out. Bring the fingertips to touch, and then pull the fingertips away from each other so the arms are just about onto the ground. And then again, fingertips touch over your navel, and then pull, get long in the neck, long and lengthen through the forearms. And then one more time, fingertips to touch. And then let's take the right arm over your head, left hand down towards your thigh, and then switch. Left arm, and then right arm. Breathe, feel that length. So ideally here you're finding a pull between your thumb of your lower hand and the pinky of your upper hand. Even as the switch happens, in the middle you'll find slack, and then you'll find pull. The arms move further away from each other. One more time, take those arms once over the head, and then the other over the head. Good, meet both hands about in the center, and then take both arms up and over the head for double arm circles and around. Up and over the head, double arm circles and around. And again, take both arms up and over the head and around. And last time, arms up and over the head and around. Good, drop the hands to the ground. Extend your right or left leg out. Roll off the roller. Legs extended out. Arms out nice and wide, and just let yourself lower back into the ground for that breath. Reassess. And exhale. Just notice how the feet drop out. Maybe they're even more relaxed than before. How the hamstrings might touch the ground a little bit more evenly in the pelvis. And then notice the rib cage to the pelvis, if that arch is a little more settled. And then in the top area, the shoulder girdle, if the back feels more neutral, flattened to the ground with evenly weighted arms. You want to recheck the turn of the head. Let the head drop to your right and to your left shoulders. And then notice if that cricking or cracking in the head and the neck is a little bit more diminished. Or maybe it's all good. All right, go ahead and slide those feet in. We're going to come back onto the roller. So if you're following us in the video, you're going to redo those double arm circles again as we do them, the arm reach, and the other as we do them. I'll help you out with that. For those that are here live, you're going to take that roller, place it underneath your hips, and we'll roll back, head and hips on the roller again. Head is back, and arms are going to go out. So right now what you're going to do is you're going to find about the middle of the band. And you're going to have your arms just a little bit wider than your shoulders or your body's width. And from here, you're just going to take your arms up towards your head. So now all of a sudden the band goes out of eye line. And then you're going to circle the arms back down towards your thighs. And then again, take your arms, no stretch really on the band. Just enough tension so it's not slack or fallen in the middle. Take your arms over your head, get that length. And then from the top of your head, so you shouldn't be able to see the band, you're going to pull around. So if you're on the video, what you're going to be doing is just double arm circles again. We're going to go through that whole sequence again, double arm circles. As you take the arms down and you have the band in your arms, pull the band wide enough and so it almost skims across your body. So I think of almost like a laser, kind of like a check mark, the laser at a store, and you're just kind of lasering the front of your body. And so it's just like a little laser going right over the front of the torso, but it doesn't touch any part of your body. Then maybe just a little bit on the tops of your thighs, let your arms come overhead, and then pull those arms wide until that band just about touches the body, and then once more over the head and then back around. So if you were doing double arm circles, you were still just circling those arms around at about 120 degrees, circling around and then back to your thighs. Let's go the other direction. Circle those arms up and away from the thighs, over the head. The band comes down and doesn't touch, and then just kind of stays not really tight. As you take the band over the body directly, it skims the body and then back down. So take that band as close as you can to the body without letting it actually touch. As you pull the band up and over the head, circle those arms toward the head and then around. As you're coming back towards the thighs, the band's pretty neutral in tension. And then two more, up and over your head and back down. And last one, up and over your head and then back down. So that's a double arm circle with the tension. And the idea of the tension is you're just giving some information into the joint. So the joint is not pulling hard like a strength move though. So again, take your arms here. We're going to do single arm reach. So again, same tension on the band, or you can do less if you need to. Keep your left hand down, take your right hand up over your head, just until about you touch your nose. And then bring the arms back down. Take your right hand to your right thigh, take your left arm overhead, and you're pulling with the pinky side of your hand, and then switch like you've got to turn in the midline of the body and take your right arm over your head, and then turn, and then take your left arm over your head. Now ideally you're keeping the tension as even as you can in that band. As the arms go fully over your head, you may touch the body a little bit, but as you make that turn, then you release the tension of the band. Bring the arms back to center and then turn, and then over your head, back to center. So one arm's pulling up and one arm's pulling down. If you're doing with no band, you can still see how you're doing this with no band. This is where the hands would turn, and then they would come overhead, and then back to center, and then overhead. So if I lay the band across my body, that's where my arms would actually end. And then turn one more time, down, and then back up. Good. Go ahead and lay the band across, and then just turn the palms up. So grab the band, but the palms are turned up. So you're holding the band out, and your thumbs are away from the sides, and you're going to pull the band away from the midline of the body and then back in. So it's not a tricep extension. It's not, you're not trying to lift the band over your head. You're just pulling from the center of your body, about your belly button line, or wherever your hands kind of meet by your thighs, pulling away from the midline of the body and then back in. Again, you're only going to about the sternum height and then back in. And then if you had no band, you're just taking those arms back to, again, just sternum height, and then bringing your hands back in towards your thighs, taking your arms away and then bringing them back in. One more time, take your arms out and away, hold. So with the bands, take the bands out and away and hold, and then just allow the elbows to bend towards the rib cage, and then push out and away, and then let the elbows bend towards the rib cage, and push out and away, or pull out and away, and then bend towards the ribs, and then move out and away. One more time, bend towards the ribs, and then press out and away. Good. Bend towards the ribs just to release the tension of the band. Take that band and place it by your side. Let's come back down to the ground for a rest. Reassess again. Bands or no bands. Arms are down by your side, and just take a notice of what's going on in your body. So again, the idea of that is not to be strength training and really not even endurance training, but to give the body signals of reach, of length, of space. Let your shoulders drop back. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. And just notice how your head weight hits. Maybe your rib cage and chest and shoulders feel a little bit more even and steady to the body. Now again, just like we do like hand treatment, foot treatment, we wouldn't do necessarily the bands every single time. We would just use it as a supplemental tool. Go ahead and slide those feet in so the shins are vertical. Let's take the roller now to the upper back so your back, the roller is perpendicular to your body. So we're going to do an upper back rinse real quick. Bring that roller behind you so it's just underneath your shoulders. Tuck your pelvis, reach your arms out and away. And then from there, roll the shoulders back. Just make sure that you've got that nice connection to the roller. Take your hands behind your head and lay that upper back over the roller. So again, watch that you're not allowing the rib cage to lift. Sink the rib cage down, let the pelvis tuck, and lay that upper back over the roller. Lift the head and chest up. Tilt the left elbow to the left armpit, and then center, and then tilt to the other side, and then center. Just notice that rib length there. So let's reset the roller so it's at your upper back and shoulders. So right almost where that T is of your shoulders and your head. Lift the hips up, keep the head kind of coming up, looking towards your knees. As you push your back into the roller, you're letting your hips scuff and you're letting your legs straighten. And then that's a nice good rinse. Just flatten the feet back out again. Lift the hips up. So resetting the back. And again, push the back into the roller. Not push the head forward, but let the back, almost like you're pulling or rinsing down the back. And then pause one more time. Flatten out the feet. Lift the hips up. And then push the back into the roller. Exhaling. Again, you're not pushing your head forward, just the back. And then down. And then reset the back. Make sure your shoulders are in the right spot. Let's recheck that rib length. Lay your back over the roller. And then come back up. And then tilt to your right or left. And then tilt to the other side. Good. And then come back up. So we're going to do an interesting treatment. So you're going to take the roller and you're going to go onto your roller head to hips. If you are at home and you have a band, you can do this. If you have another band of your own, you're going to place the band underneath the top half of the roller. So again, the roller is intersecting the band at the head to hips level, and you've got about a third to a little bit more than that of the head part above the where the band rests. So the band isn't creating a T across, it's creating more of a T. Those guys came and went pretty quickly. Good, nice. All right, so again, you're going to come up onto your roller and then lay back on the roller. And let's just do gentle rocking just for a moment, just to reset. Just feel the body settling into the roller. Go ahead and grab your band now. So the band, if placed relatively well, if you bring it up, it should be over your shoulders. Almost like you're going to put like suspenders on. So if your arms were perfectly straight, it'd be touching the back of your shoulders. And if it's a little higher or a little lower, that's fine. But do you feel it as your arms are coming up over your head? Nice, guys. Good. So choke up just a tiny bit on the band. And so you can bring your band so that your elbows are about 90 degrees. So your elbows are 90 degrees to your body. And then you're going to just pull up just a tiny bit so you feel that tension at the back side of the elbows. And so little triceps almost. And then you're going to fully extend your arms and back down. Fully extend your arms and back down. Now ideally here, you're not going to move your arms in towards your chest. So that information of that band right at the top of the shoulders should tell you that you shouldn't pull down towards your knees, but just straighten the elbows. Straight up and back down, straight up and back down. You've got 8 and 7 and 6. Relax the rib cage. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. We're going to do it again grab just over your shoulders like you just put your thumbs through the tops of your straps, and now press up again, and then you're going to do it again a little bit tighter. Press up and back down. You're not going to full extension this time, about half extension. You've got 10, 9, keep those shoulders away from the ears, 8, 7, 6, breathing, 4, 3, don't let those elbows drop, 2, and last one. Good. Just drop those arms down, and then you're going to take the band in your hand, turn your palms up so the palms are towards the sky, elbows are touching the ground, so you have not tension, but you can feel the stretch of the band, and then you're going to reach away from center. So just like when you have no weight in your hand, your elbows touch the ground and you reach away from center. So take again the band in your hand if you have it there. Elbows touch the ground to begin, and then pull the band away from the midline of the roller. And then bend the elbows till you release the band. And then pull away. And then bend the elbow. Exhale. And then bend in. And then exhale out. And then bend. 2 more times. Reach out and away. And then back in. And then last time. Reach out and away. And then bend in. Good. Release the band all together. Drop yourself back to the ground. One on this one. One more real quick reassess. Lay your back on the ground. Big deep breath. And just kind of notice those feet. So when I first started today, actually earlier in the first session that we did, my feet were kind of, one was kind of tilted up and one was tilted down. Real nice feeling now. Both feet feel like they're dropping east and west. Pelvis and hips feel real nice and level, and one of the best things is my shoulders feel very flat to the ground. Even though I've just done some work, some tensional pull work, some like you're making tension in the muscle and the joint, my shoulders feel like they're actually really relaxed to the ground. So I'll encourage you to do this practice again, just to start feeling what it's like. And then exhale. Go ahead and slide the feet in so the shins are vertical. Our last little sequence is going to be the back of the head. Put the roller at the base of the skull, right at the hairline. So you feel just the roller just above or just at where the hairline and the neck meet. And then you're going to move that roller. You're going to drop your chin to your chest and lift your chin up. I have my knees bent just to relax my lower back, and my arms are just dropped to my sides. And again, of course, if the roller moves a bit, you can always just readjust the roller, or that could mean that the roller is already just too high to begin with. Let the roller pull so you get that chin right up against the sternum, and then lift the chin and drop the chin. Once more, lift the chin up and then drop the chin down. Shift your hips to one side and just kind of roll onto one side. You're kind of in a half back, so you're not all the way on that one side. Your arm is out from underneath you, and then just begin to do that head circle, making circles with your nose. And then pause, and then pin the skin in a little bit, and then let's peck that head back and forth. Good, and then pause again. Bring that head back up. Let's turn to the other side. I'll flip over, so I'm still facing y'all. You'll see how this comes out on the video. So again, you're shifted off slightly to one side, so your head, that roller's right behind the ear, and again, you're just making circles right on that occipital bone. Just make those circles around. And then pause, nose kind of toward the top head of the roller, and then just pin the skin in. And then pause. Take a nice deep breath. Bring those knees and those hips back up. Take that roller all the way out from underneath you. Let's lay it down again. Extend those legs all the way out. The beauty of doing a treatment for the neck is it really can relax the upper back and shoulders, and it just kind of feels nice too. Taking that big deep breath, inhale through the nose, exhaling. Just notice the shoulders drop back. Good, the weight of the head, that feels even behind the bridge of the nose. The shoulder is wide and against the floor. The rib cage feels level and neutral to the ground, and the pelvis feels evenly weighted right on both sides. Notice two things: if the feet feel more evenly dropped out, right and left, and if you divide yourself in half, if you feel more balanced to right and left sides of the body as well. Go and slide those feet in so the shins are vertical. Roll your hips to one side, and then bring yourself on up. So using a tool like the roll, like a band, can give yourself some more information than just doing the movements on your own. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you want more information about using the band, just let me know. I'll talk to you later. Have a great night.